Trev's Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. That's too sweet. Anyway, so we're getting ready for the 2025-26 season. More importantly, we're getting ready for our 5th season for your Seattle Kraken. And being this is the 5th season, and I haven't done one of these expectations/worry videos since the 1st season, I figured now's a good time as any to do one. And given the off season your Seattle Kraken have had, one could look at it like, is it a case of there is a lot to worry about, or is it a case of fearful but hoping for the best when it comes to the 5th season? So, in my mind of minds, I figured now would be a good time for Trev to address his concerns for your Seattle Kraken's 5th season. And given the offseason we've had, wholesale change usually doesn't spark a lot of confidence, but is there reasonable optimism that we could actually concern ourselves with? Either way, let's talk about it. Alright, so to begin, we have to go all the way to the end of last season, where we finished with a 35-41-6 record, which warranted 76 points. Good enough for 7th in the Pacific, but unfortunately was 20 points out of the last wild card spot in the West. And this is where the changes came in. I mean, Dan Bilesma was swapped out after 1 season behind the bench for Lane Lambert. And if that wasn't enough, Ron Francis was promoted to president, which left Jason Botterill as the, I guess, heir apparent to being the GM. And right here is my first 2 concerns. Lambert, great coach. I mean, he was awesome for the Islanders when he was coaching the Islanders, but 1 good playoff season out of the 2 seasons he was there, that's, I said it before, I'll say it again. I mean, this is before he signed over in the KHL. Was Gerard Gallant not available? Not saying Lambert is a bad choice. I am saying there were better choices, in my mind. I mean, as for Botterill, he was GM for the Sabres for 2 seasons, and if you consider the last 14 seasons the Sabres have had, Botterill fits in that category. 2 seasons, not much to speak of. So right off the hop, I'm legit concerned. I mean, sure, he made a great choice in Lambert, but Botterill as a GM, come on. You want a GM that can prove to be a winner, not prove to be a GM stuck in a rebuild that's lasted 14, 15 seasons. And this is the part that I'm still scratching my head on. Are we using the term rebuild in our 5th season, or are we just using the term retool? I don't know. I mean, this could take us all the way to the draft. I mean, we drafted Jake O'Brien at 8th. Unfortunately, we drafted another center. And I mean, you go down the middle, we're solid at center. We need more wings. We need more defense. But Jake O'Brien, great pick at 8th overall. I mean, one would hope if he's going to crack the lineup, he'll either be at a spot in center or start off on the wing. In the same token, though, we did draft Blake Fiddler in the 2nd round at 36th overall, where we traded up 2 picks to get him. Now, that's obviously great help on the defense as soon as he cracks the lineup, which takes us to free agency. And I mean, when it came to the RFAs, we signed them all. We signed Evans, we re-signed Kakko, we re-signed Cartier. Obviously, 3 we definitely needed to re-sign. When it came to the UFAs, Group 3 and Group 6, we didn't sign any of them. But, to be fair, the bulk of our free agents, Groups 3 and Group 6, with the exception of Michael Esamont, who signed with Boston, they all signed out of the NHL, either in the KHL or in Czechia, or signed to the AHL. And as far as big trades that happened during this offseason, I mean, we traded Borkstrand out, to get Vino, but we ended up buying him out. But as for returns we got in trades, I mean, we got Frederick Goudreau, we got Mason Marchment. That should definitely help the offense, especially with Marchment. I was a fan of Marchment in Dallas. I'm a bigger fan of him now that he's on the team. Even if he is only here for a year, I mean, he is a free agent at the end of the 25-26 season, as is most of our other lineup, but it's a good addition all the same. So looking at the roster on paper right now, is it enough? I mean, there is still a lot of time between now and opening day of the regular season, so a lot can change, a lot can happen. But as it stands for the right now, is it enough? I mean, on paper, it still doesn't look like it helps out the special teams. I mean, we finished 23rd out of 32 on the power play. We finished 21st out of 32 on the penalty kill. And I mean, we got enough forward depth that we shouldn't be there. We should be better, but our forward depth, well, that could be another part of the problem. When you look at your top 5 points leaders from last season, Jared McCann at 61 points. Chandler Stevenson came in from Vegas. He had 51 points. Jaden Schwartz had 49. Shane Wright and Capo Caco both had 44, and then Matty Beniers finished with 43. And I really hate to think that Beniers is on the way down as opposed to on the way up. I mean, former Calder Trophy winner, you would hope he's past the sophomore slump. I mean, this is going to be his 3rd, 4th season. You would hope the results are going to be better. I mean, at the same token, you look at the defense. I mean, you got Montour, Dunn, and Larson still packing in good minutes, but not doing much to keep the puck out. And as much as one would love to blame defense, you also got to blame goaltending too. I mean, yeah, the emergence of Joey Decord is a great thing. I mean, he ended up with a 27-23-5 record, putting up a 2.75 goals against and a .906 save percentage, which is a lot better numbers than the guy who's supposed to be our starter in Philip Grubauer. But hopefully, having signed Ryan Lindgren and Matt Murray in free agency is enough to change that too. At the same token, you look at the guys who are up and coming on the roster. I mean, Berkeley Catton should be making the team this year. Yanni Neiman, if he can keep doing what he did after he was called up from Coachella Valley and putting up the points, it could be a great thing. But again, this all boils down to consistency. I mean, we know they can score. We know they can win. Can they do it on a consistent basis? Another thing that we always have to watch out for that we never account for at the beginning of the season is injuries. And I mean, we lost 105 man games to injury last season. So on top of consistency, you need to stay healthy consistently. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is there's reason to look at it optimistically. Yes, we do have a solid lineup. There are lots of teams in the Western Conference that have better lineups. And who knows, maybe the injury bug or anything like that will fall them. Not that I'm hoping for that kind of thing, but you want your team to do better than everybody else, right? So while I am hoping for the best for the 5th season for your Seattle Kraken, I'm approaching it with caution. Yes, I'm sure guys like McCann, Stevenson, Wright, maybe even Beniers, I'm sure Kako will do amazing. I'm sure Neiman will do fantastic. Did we add a little more body to the lineup? Absolutely we did. We added a lot bigger bodies to the lineup. But again, is it enough? Can we trust front office to say, hey, you're making the right moves? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not 100% stoked on Jason Botterill running the team. I'm not even 25% stoked at Jason Botterill running this team. I mean, we're on our 2nd GM and our 3rd head coach in team history, and we haven't even hit the 5th season yet. And while I'm hopeful, guys like Neiman and Catton and maybe even O'Brien will do a lot to help this lineup, I understand that guys like O'Brien and Neiman, even Fiddler, if he cracks the lineup, do need to develop and do need to adjust to a solid NHL game. And while I'm not going to go out of the way and try and make a prediction because the prediction videos aren't even ready yet, I am going to say that I want to remain positively optimistic, despite the fact that I'm making this sound like I'm not. I mean, best case scenario, wild card. Worst case scenario, we don't make the playoffs again for the 3rd time. Well, 4th time in team history. We've only made the playoffs once, but the worst case scenario is we don't make the playoffs, and we just hope for another high draft pick. And while this is still a young team with young players still on it, our veterans should be able to compensate for that. Our veteran presence should be a lot higher. I mean, for the amount of guys on our team who have Stanley Cup rings to their name or vast amounts of playoff experience to their name, we should be able to balance the inexperience with the experience and hope for the best from that. And again, while I want to be optimistic, I'm approaching this with caution. So I guess my main concerns, my takeaway from this video: front office is my biggest concern. Consistency is my second. Defense is my third. And staying healthy is the fourth. But again, I'm hoping for the best. I'm trying to stay optimistic. But again, I'm proceeding with caution. So that's my takes on going into your Seattle Krakens this season. Let me know what your concerns are, if you have any. So that was another one of them Trev's hockey shows. I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you've made it to this point. If you have made it to this point, hey, I'm glad you did. It helps my watch time a lot. And I mean, the fact that you've made it to the end, that's equally as impressive. So I'm proud of you for that. But if you've made it here, if you like what I'm doing, you just want to say, hey, feel free to give me that thumbs up. Trust me, it goes a long way to exposing this channel, which, hey, is never a bad thing. If you want to, if you haven't done so by now, that red button that says subscribe all over it, come on, you know you want it. I know you want it. The algorithm knows you want to hit that button. So why deny yourself a good thing? It'll make you feel good. It'll make me feel good. So, and we're on the way to 500 by the end of the year. And well, the end of the year is quickly approaching. So let's hope we can still make that number happen. Again, if you want, that link in my description below, that'll take you to my Facebook page. Feel free to join that. I mean, I'm posting quite regularly on there, and I'd love to build the audience there like I've built the audience here. So feel free to do that one too. So moving forward, well, I got to get back into being consistent with my videos. I mean, I've only pumped out, well, this will be my third one since the draft. I got to get back on being a lot more consistent. I mean, given the amount of projects I got on the go between retired numbers, goalie goals, 50-50 club, plus I got to get the season predictions ready. I got to play catch up. So either way, in the meantime, and in between time, be looking for videos from Trev. Later.